Hello.
Hello.
You gonna say hi to everybody?
Hello.
You sounded like a Lenny or Squiggy or whatever.
Exactly.
I just thought, in case anybody showed up early, they don't know I'm here, but on the recording you'll be here. So he's back. There's that. Okay. That's all. You can leave, or you can hang out if you like. It's totally up to you.
I'll let you.
There we go.
Hey.
So.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Alrighty.
Decluttering.
Thank you. So hey, unexpected for you anyway, a little bit for me. Figured I would do a pop-up TikTok live today, just for about an hour. That one persona, nice to see you, Pinky Silver Chloe. Some familiar faces. Moments ago, we had a guest appearance by my hubs, the Hubby Bubs. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, friend. Right back at you. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to one and all. And I realized I had a little bit of time today in between green bean casseroling and Alice's restauranting and taking a shower. Christina Glendale, nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving as well. And I thought it might be fun to just, I don't know, help you hang out, whatever. Because even on the holidays, you might have some downtime, or maybe you're just kind of in between, the meals and the prep and the family or the friends or the travel or the alone or the whatever. And as I promised the people that are part of my mailing list group that I would show up and do some TikTok lives on this holiday weekend. Carla Edwards, I see you showing up too. So see, I figured I would just say, hey, and happy Thanksgiving to my peeps here. There we go. I love it. I was just watching your YouTube and then I saw you were live and jumped on over here. Here we go. I love it. Yay for the notifications when you have them turned on. So yeah. So I figured I would just be here. I will do a typical hour-long TikTok live. I know it's a different day because it's a holiday. So stay as long as you like, stay as long as you can. I will also be, just so you know, even though they're not scheduled. So those of you in the group on the secret page, there are some TikTok lives scheduled through the end of next week. But because this is kind of a holiday weekend, and if you notice, even my body language is I like a flexible schedule. So I will be doing tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. And if you notice, even my body language is I like a flexible schedule. So I will be doing tomorrow, the next day, and the next day TikTok lives. But I don't know when I'm going to start them because I don't know when I want to start them. So I hope you indulge me in my flexibility. And if the stars align and we connect, it's great. You'll be doing your stuff and I'll be doing mine. So Nat, back up Chloe, Nat Ray, nice to see you. Soaring Butterfly. Yeah, I was hoping you'd be on. Well, here I am. I rock you like a hurricane on Thanksgiving. Yeah, we don't eat Thanksgiving dinner today until closer to 6 o'clock, which is kind of funny because when I grew up, the way I grew up in New England was that the Thanksgiving dinner was literally between noon, 1, 2 o'clock. So it was kind of like that Sunday dinner type of thing. Gina, nice to see you. And this is a little bit different. We're staying here in Pennsylvania. We are having a Friendsgiving where we're hanging out with our, as I like to say, our family of choice, our family of friends who we love dearly and we are so lucky to have. And we are all bringing in kind of I'll bring a side and he'll bring a dessert and they'll bring a meat and they'll bring, something. And together we're going to have an awesome feast and be grateful and thankful for hanging out with the people that we hang out with. So I don't know what today's TikTok live would be like, but I figured that I was scrolling on TikTok moments ago. And so I thought maybe some other people might be too, and it might be fun to connect with people, to be grateful for the time we've had together, to be grateful to yourself for what you have done to create a decluttered home or a life that feels better to you. Do not forget to include yourself in your Thanksgiving gratitude prayers, what have you. you're, going around the table and saying something you're gratitudinal for. Well, there we go. I love it. Gina's saying, I'm just home with my son relaxing. No turkey for us because we're not fans. Yeah, isn't it interesting that certain foods are almost like an unspoken requirement to in certain holidays? And it doesn't really need to be required, though. So if we haven't met before, too, I realize that I'm chatting with a bunch of people that kind of names are familiar to me. If we haven't met before, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. And my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Now, I have been doing TikTok lives for years now. It's crazy how quickly the time passes. And I show up doing TikTok lives to help you basically when you're stuck, either clutter-wise or otherwise, and to remind you that nothing's wrong here if you have a cluttered home. If you want to change it, fine. If you don't, I'm not going to convince you. But a lot of times we get stuck not knowing what to do next because we never really learned a good system, like a good process for decluttering. And so I'm here to help you with that because I have kind of formulated one. I didn't learn it growing up. I grew up in a generationally hoarding kind of family and hanging on to things regardless of if you needed them or wanted them. And for a while that seemed kind of like the thing to do until it felt like not the right thing to do. And so I have slowly but surely, in my own pace and my own way, I have decluttered so much stuff from my own life. So much stuff. And this is the thing, is it feels so good not to have nothing. I mean, look behind me. I still have plenty of stuff in my house. Do not get me wrong. But it feels so good to let go of the stuff that you feel like, you know what, I just don't want this anymore. I just don't need it. And it feels lighter and better and easier. And so I'm here to help you feel that way too if you didn't learn how to do it earlier in your life and if you want to change it. So that's kind of my coachy thing. But today is also a holiday. And so maybe like your holiday could be affected by your clutter. It may not be. Maybe you have cluttered thoughts in your head. So I'm just here to show up, to basically be here, be like, hey, I'm here if you need me. You know, I'm drinking my cup of tea, chilling out. I've got green beans to make and Alice's restaurant to listen to and definitely shower to take. Actually, I didn't even look in the calendar, in the camera right here. I had a hat on earlier. I took a 3-mile walk with my friends this morning. Oh my God, what was I thinking? And so I had my hat on for that. And then I love my friends, so I want to hang out with them. And then my friend said, hey, you want to go do outdoor yoga? So I said, okay. I was also wearing my hat for that. So man, do I have a chill. Hence the warming of my hands. So you may be busy right now. I don't know. But if you are struggling with something and you need some help, you just put it in the comments, okay? You put it in the comments and I can help you with it, all right? Now, maybe you just want me to keep you company, a la ADHD people who like to, when they're doing something, have kind of body doubling, you know, somebody to keep you company. Maybe you are busy. Maybe you can't even scroll and do this because you've got butter in your hands because you're slathering it all over a piece of tofurkey or something. But I just thought it might be interesting to show up and do a TikTok live on a holiday because everybody's doing something a little bit different today. And part of coaching, really, if you think about it, because I do, is pausing and just checking in, like pausing what you are in the habit of doing and just saying, hey, wait a minute, is what I'm doing giving me what I want, moving me in the direction that I want to be heading into? Is it getting me closer to the life I want? Or is it getting me further away? Now, the holidays are great for this because it disrupts all sorts of normal patterns. Doesn't today not feel like a regular Thursday? It feels different. Tomorrow will feel not like a regular Friday too, because many of us have time off from work. We've been told by corporations to come buy their stuff so they can make huge profits at our behalf. And then it's the weekend, but it's a different weekend because it's the weekend after Thanksgiving, which means it's kind of the kickoff of maybe the December holidays. And so this is a time of year that disrupts your patterns anyway. So why don't we use that organic disruption to say, hey, wait a minute, and make a plan. See, this is the thing I love about this time of year, is making a plan to say, what could I do differently this year to avoid some of the things that made me feel not so good last year at this time? Now, no lamish. I love this. I'm having family from out of state coming in on Saturday. Awesome. I decided to buy a Christmas duvet cover, and I love it. I thought to myself, why haven't I done this for myself? Yeah, but you did, which is good. The curious thing could be, like looking in the past, why hadn't I done this for myself prior to today or this week? And then you get curious and you just listen to your answer. Now, a lot of my reason I haven't done a lot of things prior is fear. Fear of spending money and therefore I don't have it. Fear of being judged for spending money. Fear of getting a bad deal. Fear of regretting my purchase. A lot of fears. Why did my voice just do that? Apparently. Apparently. Oh, I crack myself up. So here's a wonderful time to just get curious about what you've done in the past. And seriously, let's just disrupt some of those patterns that just aren't serving you. You know, why did I eat too much last year and feel gross? Why did I have too much alcohol and feel hungover the next day? I'm speaking from myself personally. I'm used to not having a lot of good food around. It feels fun to indulge myself, but indulgence past a certain point creates more trouble than it's worth, you know? So let's disrupt some of the unhelpful patterns, whatever they are. Yeah. Laura Gibbon Voorhees, happy Thanksgiving and your daughter's birthday. Love it. Yeah, I figured I would show up and say hey to the folks. And if anybody was struggling with anything today between, 12:15, between noon Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern, you needed some friends, you needed some suggestions, a little coaching, a little friendliness on the holidays, because I am grateful for the people who show up to my TikTok lives. I am. It is fun to me when I see people's names show up in the comments and I recognize their names because they've showed up time and time again. It's fun to me. It's almost like pen pals or something. Somebody you've not met in person, but you communicate. I have to communicate through speaking, but you communicate through writing. And you can be grateful for the people who come and encourage me to keep on doing what I'm doing as I show up to encourage you. So it is a wonderful kind of, a nice kind of symbiotic relationship. I'm grateful, frankly, that we have this kind of connection. Judy, nice to see you. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. So even disrupting your regular everyday Thursday to remind yourself of what to be grateful for, thankful for, grateful for. What's the difference? I don't know. They can be the same. They can be different. But what are the things that you appreciate in your life? What are the things you want to have, I don't want to say more of, but you want to maintain? I want to maintain my friendships with my friends, so I do wacky things like getting up at 8:30 and going on a 3-mile brisk walk through the mud. There we go. No, I love it. Yeah, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, thank you for being here. You're welcome. Food is mostly ready. Yay. Just dusting a few spots and ready to go. Yeah, take a shower. I got to take one myself, but I'm going to do that closer to when we go over to our friend's house. Now, here's a fun thing to think about with decluttering. So one of the kind of core principles, it groans me to do that. Yay, Irene says, I am home doing a deep delve with my cleaning. Very cathartic. Awesome. Love having you for company. Awesome, Irene, I am here for you. If you get stuck and it gets too deep, just let me know and I'll throw like a little life ring to you and we'll drag you to the shallow end, okay? Sometimes it can be very cathartic to do some deep cleaning and some deep work both in your body and in your soul, in your life, and also at your home. Another thing about decluttering that's similar to the holidays, if this is going to be like the holiday version, is chunking it down. Think about how many foods perhaps that you have made today that started as a big chunk and that you had to make into smaller chunks to be able to more easily eat it. I'm thinking of chopping up potatoes to make mashed potatoes, chopping up bread to make stuffing, even chopping up a turkey to make it so it's easier to eat. Chunking things down makes it easier for you to do something. So don't be overwhelmed. Even the holiday meals are made up of different categories and different chunks. It's not the entire meal, but the entire meal is made up of little things. And then when you look at it and you say, oh, that's right, and you do a little bit here and a little bit there, and you ask for other people's participation in the creating of the meal or the creating of the decluttered home, that it just doesn't land on your shoulders. So notice what works for you in your life today and write that down. If I could give each one of you a holiday gift, it would be the gift of sending you a plain old white notebook with lines in it and a pen, a nice pen that is easy for you to write with, one that has the right ballpoint, the right ink color you like, and that the ink just flows, but not too much. So you could capture the insights of yourself of what do you like? What do you not like? What do you like to eat for the holidays? What don't you like? Having less of what you don't like in your life and more of what you do. That's what I think is pretty cool. What didn't work out last holiday that you could do differently now? Writing down, capturing, using this unusual time. It's not the usual Thursday at noontime. It's an unusual time. So use this disruption in the time-space continuum, as it were, to check in with yourself and have a place where you can make a home for those thoughts. Capture those insights. You know what? I do like to hang out with my friends. So what can I do to hang out with my friends more? And you ask yourself a question, and you have some time now, ideally. And if you don't, make some time between now and Monday before things get into the, 9 to 5. And just ask yourself that question and let it boil on the back burner. Let it simmer. And see what kind of bubbles up. What can I do to see my friends more? Yeah. I love it. Mish, yes. Last night I wrote down my goals for today and a timeline, a roadmap. Love it. And I am not frantic. Yes, let's not be frantic city, shall we? Erin, I raise my giant mug to you. My hands are freezing, so I'm using the big mug today. Yes, Christine, I thought you might enjoy this live because here's a fun thing. So I sent out an email to the folks on the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. And I said at least somewhere that some of these things, okay, this is a funny thing. Today, technically, I didn't say it was going to be a morning TikTok live pop-up, but it was going to be a pop-up. And I realized, even though it was noontime Eastern when I started, it was technically morning time with my West Coast besties. So it's still technically morning. But yes, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be doing some pop-up TikToks, but I'm going to keep them flexible. Now, I love this. Judy says, I decided on some food I could make ahead of time. Awesome, yeah. Doing things before the due date makes that date where it's due a lot easier. Chunking things down. I have a bunch of green beans that are stringy that I have to finish chopping. Chopping up the green beans so they're easier to cook, easier to eat, easier to mix with cream of mushroom soup and put some onions on top. Num, num, num. So calming down your nervous system, doing things a little bit at a time. Check in with yourself right now. How are you feeling? Could you benefit from drinking some plain water right now? Okay. Oh, I love it. This is so freaking cool, people. I can't, well, I see it right now, but I would put a heart on it. I just got a notification when I talked about green beans, and it says green bean cutting school is in session and at my sister's house. Green beans are a big deal at the holidays of my family, so I'll say that. Alrighty. Magical Patterns is asking, how do I work? Appointments online? Yeah, so here's how I work. So I do a lot of basically free coaching, frankly, by doing my TikTok lives. So I do TikTok lives quite often, if only to get people to be aware of my name's Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Some people like what they hear here and they sign up for my mailing list. My main business, frankly, is being a one-on-one decluttering life coach for clients all over the country. And I coach people one-on-one via Zoom, and I have a 10-session package. And that all starts, if you're interested in, instead of like me coaching you right here in front of 60, 70, 80, 100, 150, 200 people, if you want me, just me, all for you, for an entire hour a week for 10 weeks, 20 weeks, whatever, how long, and I will offer to you that's how I do it. Now, I have scheduled some openings for consultations to see if coaching is right for us together on my calendar, and it's on my website, destinationdecluttered.com. But that's mainly to start anybody who wants as a new or returning client to start in January. I know this time of year can be challenging for people to start something new in the chaos of the holidays. However, even within the chaos of the holidays, you can plan for something that starts in the new year. So that's why I like to open up my consultation calendar in December, so we can decide if it feels like a good fit for you to start with one-on-one coaching. And if it does, the cool thing is we start that kind of when you're probably wanting to be decluttering anyway. After the holidays, it's a new year. You're maybe putting away or giving away your holiday stuff. So that's how it works. So I will say this, the consultations are free, mainly because it's an investigative thing to determine whether the paid coaching would be a good fit. All right. So if you want, you can take a look at my website and sign up for a consultation. But basically the goal of a consultation is for me to ask you some questions so that we both learn where you're stuck declutter-wise, or clutter-wise rather, or both. And if I feel like my coaching could help you in your situation. So why would I don't feel the need to charge for that, because if it does seem like the relationship would work well, then we get into a formal coaching relationship. Okay, hope that helps. Yeah, I love it. Christine says, I highly recommend Beth's coaching, still using all the tools daily. Rock, my friend. Yeah, because here's the fun thing, is my coaching basically teaches you a set of skills, but I teach you the skills kind of tailor-made to where you are jammed up in your own decluttering. I can share those tools to a general audience, but when you make it, when it's bespoke, when you take it kind of off the rack and tailor it to your unique situation, that's when it can really be beneficial. And there we go. Oh, Carla Edwards is showing up too. A relationship with Beth is life-changing. And let me be clear, I believe she means her coaching relationship. I am in a, but yeah, Carla and I have been coaching. And somebody said something, and I apologize. Somebody said something about a craft table. So yeah, Lisa Bob, I missed the first half of that, but I hope you're decluttering your craft table if that's what you're doing. But yeah, I am grateful for my one-on-one clients. I will give my one-on-one clients total props, because they are the people really that are allowing me the ease with which to do so many TikTok lives and help so many people. Because some people, not all, some people may not be in a current position to spend money on one-on-one coaching. And I think it's important for me not to just, gatekeep and keep all the good stuff behind the wall for the people who can pay, but the people who pay for my coaching allow their generosity for themselves for me to help people who couldn't do the coaching, you know? So there we go. Yep. Alrighty. Now Marissa says, I lost an item from my shop because I have so much stuff. So here's what I would say. Yeah, so Magical Patterns, hop over to my website right now. There's a place that probably says work with me and a button. I should probably check to see if the buttons work here. Let me just make sure. Can you tell them a one-stop deal? Let's have some fun. Let's get started. This is how coaching works. Consultations. Oh, funny. I do need to update my consultations thing. I'm going to do that right now. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to do that, because I did do some consultations in September, but they filled up real quick. So not to fear. I will make sure that stuff is all good to go. But here's the thing. Yeah, Marissa, notice that I lost an item from my shop because I have so much stuff. So we are not part of getting you down to nothing. To me, notice that having too much stuff creates its own problems. That having too much stuff can cause you to lose things, you know? Yeah. There we go. And Christine even says, at a minimum, sign up for the newsletter to know the scheduled lives and declutter party dates. Yeah, that's a great thing too, Christine. So my Destination Decluttered YouTube channels has all the recordings for the destination of these lives and whatnot. But one of the great things about you sharing your email address with me is that I share with you a link to a page that has the schedule for these TikTok lives, and it's free. Yeah, and basically I show up to do this to also give you an opportunity to see how I coach, to hear how I coach, you know, to make sure that you feel like us working together could get you to where you want to go. Now, I definitely need to meet you to make sure that my skill set matches what you're looking for. But if you're interested if you're interested in this, go to my website, and even just signing up for the email, okay? That will get you access to show when I do the TikTok lives, when we have declutter parties. And one thing I will offer, Cindy Bella is saying, where are you located? I'm outside of Philadelphia, PA. But the cool thing is I coach people from around the country, because I don't coach in person in physical, I don't go to your house. You know, I coach just kind of like this on Zoom. Because that way I can reach the people who have clutter problems that don't just happen to live in my geographic neck of the woods. Hey, Kara, nice to see you. She's planting. Yep. Now, Magical Patterns, I just want to offer this to you. You say you are attached to IVs all day. I am very ill, but I need help. What I will offer to you is that would require, a consultation. But what I will share with everybody here is, many times we focus on the physical act of decluttering. And what I want to say to this is the only time you are physically decluttering is after consulting yourself. And you can do that even if your body is not able to be moved. Or able to move. Able to be moved, that sounded kind of weird. Because your decluttering starts in your head and trickles down to your heart. How you think about your clutter and how you feel about it will equal what you do with it physically. And the cool thing is, I will just share with you, is the way I coach is to encourage you to do the decluttering, thinking of your declutter, feeling of your declutter, and then when you write down whatever action needs to be taken, save that, move that, sell that, give that away, trash that, donate this. All of those physical actions can be done by somebody else. Okay? So just a thought for everybody who thinks, oh, I don't have the physical capabilities to do decluttering. That's okay. You can hire. There's a reason they call it hired hands, right? You can hire somebody, but the only way you can do that is if you know what to tell them what to do. And as my younger sisters would say, I'm an oldest parentified, fourth generation parentified oldest daughter. Do I know how to tell people what to do or not? Yeah. So, hey, there we go. Kara planted her bulbs, waiting for the brie and cranberry bites to be done. Num, num, no. I love it. Shower and then go to the in-laws. Awesome, friend. That sounds great. There we go. Melissa's chiming in. She's got an hour and a half drive to dinner. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for you too. I am thankful for the folks who show up when I do these TikTok lives, when they're scheduled, when I happen to pop up at noontime on Thanksgiving. It's a nice little community of people we have here. Checking in with people, sharing your accomplishments, sharing your struggles, getting support with both of them. You know, sometimes we don't have those circles of support in our physical worlds. So it's nice to know that there's a place you can go, a safe place you can go to connect with people who know what you're going through if you're struggling with clutter. Christine, I love this. Christine, I think this is great. And she says, sometimes I take a picture of the area and write out a declutter plan from when I'm ready to take the physical action. Yeah, and the neat thing is, Christine, if you take the picture and you write down a declutter plan, even if you're not ready to take the physical action, I will always be talking about getting other people to assist with that. And when you have a plan, you can do it or you can share it with somebody else. Yeah. Funny. Melissa was just asking, what does my hoodie say? I forgot I was wearing this. It says Taekwondo Nut. It's like an in-joke with my friend group. We did a Friends Olympics the other couple of years ago, and somebody couldn't go, and so she gave me her sweatshirt. So yeah, it's like it's a joke. Taekwondo Nut. I don't know. It just felt like I went for a 3-mile brisk walk with my friends this morning, so it felt like a good time to wear the hoodie. There we go, Barbara. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I love this. Anne says, our little fam had a big meal last week, so today is lazy and leisurely. Working on the house. I freaking love it. I do, because I am all about lazy and leisure, like nobody's business. I almost said nobody's buildings, because my New England upbringing was like Light and Leisure, the purple buildings. I know that's a deep cut for 99.9% of you, but that's where my brain went. Yeah. No, I love this. Irene says, as an MS patient, I often hire legs. Yeah. Yeah. So the physical act of decluttering only happens after you have done the mental and the spiritual, the feelings, the thinking about it. Thinking equals sentences in your head, but the sentences in your head, the words in your head create a feeling in your body. A feeling of, yay, let's do this, or ugh, I don't want to, or anywhere in between. Once you kind of learn that kind of dance between your head and your heart, then you can come up with a decision that feels good to you. And then what you decide to do with it, the action of getting it done, can be done by you physically, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. It's typically up here and in here. And if you don't believe me, I can prove it to you, because I can have you think a sad thought and you could be crying right now. I could ask you to think of a good thought and you could be smiling. And that all has to do with the connection between, as I like to just call it, your head and your heart. Okay? Kim Jenner, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Yeah. So we got a nice little community here. We really do. Always welcome for new people, except for haters. Man, can I smack them down in a hot minute. So that's why we do this. We maintain the boundaries. No trolls, no mean people. Because we need a safe space to share with each other and not be judged if you've got clutter, and judged if, your house doesn't look these things. And it's been kind of fun. It's been kind of fun these last many years, having been doing these TikTok lives and YouTube lives and one-on-one coaching, stuff like that. I really enjoy what I do, and I want to do it as long as it's enjoyable. So I try to keep it enjoyable. And one of the things I thought might make it kind of enjoyable for me is knowing that I could reach out today. I could reach out today and just be there in case somebody's there, just wanting to pop in and say hey and connect over the airwaves. Or if anybody was feeling alone and struggly on the holiday and they were trying to make themselves feel better by, we all do, scrolling on the TikTok, that they would maybe find a friendly voice and know that they're not alone if somebody is judging them because of their clutter. This is a judgment-free zone. We don't do the judgment. We don't do the fear. We learn from the judgment and the fear. Notice how judgment can often be a sentence in your head. Oh, look at that house. Look at her. Look at them. judginess, you write that stuff down, man, you will learn something about yourself. Amy from Miami, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Irene says, I love the idea of photos to remember what I need help with or explain what I want. Yeah. Now, this is a really cool thing I will share with you. So I am a Gen Xer. So I am equally as comfortable in the old school world of pen and paper as I am with digital. So even digital, think about photographs. Using the technology that's available to us, but not being overwhelmed by apps and things like that. Using the simple technology we're already comfortable with to make things easier to do. Mama Pepper, Thanksgiving to you as well. So what do I mean by that? Taking a picture. This is funny. I'm looking around for my phone to pretend to take a picture. I'm talking into my phone right now. When you take a picture of a room, what you've basically done is you've literally and metaphorically taken a snapshot of how that part of the room looked in time. There is no way, thank God, that you can take a picture of an entire room just by the nature of cameras, which is good because one of the things that does tend to cause us to be overwhelmed is looking at everything, top to bottom, 360, the peripheral vision, the big picture, can often cause a feeling of overwhelm. And usually it's triggered by, oh my God, I have to do so much. Taking a picture immediately puts a frame, a boundary. So you could say, I'm just gonna, and again, notice the parallels, as I say sometimes, the parallels between photography and chunking things down. Focusing on something. Zooming in and focusing on one little area helps you see it more clearly, and it can help you decide what to do with that. Getting some distance from the entire room and only looking at one picture also simmers down your nervous system. When you do that, you can more easily able to calm down your nervous system, and we calm it down to the point where that you basically get to this point where you stop saying, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. It's not so bad. I could do that. I could do that. It's so tiny. How could I have a resistance on doing even that one tiny step? And that place, going from I can't to I can, you usually get there by chunking things down. And chunking things down just means taking any action, any thought, anything, and chopping it up into smaller bites. You're going to do it today when you're eating your meal. Whatever meal you eat, you are not going to put the entire piece of pizza in your mouth and swallow it whole. You need to bite it off and chew it and swallow it. So chunk it down. That chunk of pizza, that chunk of turkey, that chunk of pie. You will notice today how often you create things. It's easier for you to digest and do something with something when it's in a smaller, more manageable chunk. I don't know how I got on that roll, but I did. There we go. One thing I did want to mention too, somebody mentioned getting onto my mailing list, and I probably forgot to tell you about this. So my website is destinationdecluttered.com. There's a link to it here on my TikTok, or you can just type it into your browser. And you go to my homepage, you scroll down, and there's a place where it says join the mailing list group, and you put in your email address and you hit join, and then you automatically get sent an email with a link to a page that shows you when we're going to tune in next. Yeah. So just wanted to mention that. Now let me see what I can do here. Yeah. Yeah, I will get this stuff even before I do the Thanksgiving. Even before I do the peas and I don't like peas, the green beans. I will make sure that the website, all the buttons are turned on. Now, Anne, I love hearing from you. I very much enjoy giving away a few things because when I go back to that pile or collection, I remember doing that, and clearing it out is way more easy. It totally does make sense. Yes, what I will say, Anne, this is what I think of. This is how I kind of I'll try to describe it. This is what I think happens. We see a pile or collection, and we can be afraid to disrupt it, to do anything with it. But if we can chunk it down and even pull one thing out of it and experiment with how it feels to let go of that little thing, it's like just a very low-level experiment to see how it feels to let go of something. When you let go of something, however you do it, when you get rid of a piece of clutter and you've gone through the process where you're feeling good about what you're doing, you're feeling good about, I can't get rid of all of that, but I feel good about letting go of this. You create a trust that your decision to let it go did not end up in regret or fear. That your decision to let it go worked out the way you hoped it would. That it was easy. That it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be. That it worked. So that the next time you look at that now smaller pile, you will remember, hey, the last time I thought to get rid of something, it did not hurt me the way I previously thought it would. Yeah. So Anne is saying, one small clear out leads to a much larger of the same pile down the road. Yes, and because what you're doing is you are chunking it down and taking off, and I like to think of the clutter in kind of different layers. You're doing the surface layer first, the easy things, and then you're learning, you're expanding your nervous system, as I like to say, to include feeling safe within that bubble that's stretchable. You know how sometimes people say, I'll riff on this for a minute. There's that phrase of get out of your comfort zone. I have issues with that. I like to be comfortable, okay? Why would I want to get out of my comfort zone? What I say instead is expand your comfort zone. Picture it as like a geodesic dome made out of saran wrap. That's how I picture it. My comfort zone is everything from the edge of the saran wrap dome inward. And every space in my comfort zone I am comfortable in. Why would I want to get out of that? That might be a hostile environment on a foreign planet. No, but what I do want to do is I want to expand how much I feel more comfortable. So when you declutter and it feels safe, you've smushed out a little bit and you feel safe now letting go of certain things. And the more you feel the safety that you let go of something and nothing bad happened to you, you will feel safer doing it the next time because you have proven to yourself that you can do it and nothing bad happened. You can create a sense of trust in your decisions to let something go, and it expands your nervous system capacity. So you're stretching it like a little boy in the plastic bubble type of thing, where you just have a bigger nervous, like comfort zone. Yeah, be afraid and do it anyway makes a good t-shirt. But I say that, but look for why you're doing it. I would get curious why you're afraid. And most of us are afraid of pain, because pain is one step away from possible death. Let's keep it simple. What is the pain you are afraid of? If doing a big thing, you're afraid of pain, what about one little thing? What is one little thing you could experiment with to say, see, remember that time I let go of those clothes and gave them to the Goodwill? And it felt good and nothing bad happened. So maybe I'll try it again. Yeah. Now, I love it. Now, Melissa says we'll be making a list while in the car of to-dos. Yay. Writing down your thoughts can be helpful, even if writing means typing on your phone, whatever works for you. Also getting ready for the Retail Crazy tomorrow. Now, let's talk about that, shall we? Notice, this is the time of year where the incoming products, items will be incoming into your home at a faster rate, okay, than ever before. It is possible, okay? So know that. Mama Pepper says, I'm not shopping until after December 8th. If you have clutter, which you probably do because you're hanging out talking with me, you could have a conversation with the people who give you gifts at this time of year. And you could say to them, You know what I would love this year? Not more stuff, because stuff is causing me discomfort. I am uncomfortable in my own home because of the quantity of items I have in it. I do not need more items. What I could use, what that I would appreciate with, is maybe some help with it. Buy my coaching, send somebody, to have them pay for your coaching. Getting the right people, though. I want to be mindful of this. The non-judgy, helpful, truly helpful people could help you with it physically. Even not bringing more items into your home can help with your decluttering, because you're just making it worse when you add more stuff on top of the stuff. Now, this doesn't have to mean, and we live in a capitalistic, consumeristic society. I worked retail for decades, so I know this on all the hands. First hand, second hand, third hand, sold. Sometimes falling in line with what is expected of us as that kind of society makes our troubles worse. So that's why it's good to have a backup plan that could make things better. Because what you don't want to give somebody is to say no, but then not say, don't do that, and then stop, is always say, do this instead. So how about you not give me any physical gifts, but you and I go out for lunch one day. You pay for 10 yoga classes for me, experiences. You can change your clutter relationship by changing your relationships with buying, with gifts. Now, some people don't want to hear this. They don't, because they're firmly embedded in it. However, at a certain point, they may see that their lives become overly cluttered. You see, we are sold this idea that this thing will make you happy. Now, I know some things I have do make me happy, but too many things and some of the wrong things do not do that. Or they do it for a short time and then they stop, So think about your relationship with stuff and people, and how could you change that this holiday season? Even tomorrow, you could be stealthily rebellious and flip the bird to that by not buying anything from a major corporation. You could find a little downtown and shop in a shop that somebody is paying rent on. If you want to be able to visit little towns with cute little shops, and I say this to myself, I have to shop in them. Which actually reminds me, there's a thing going on where I'm going to write it down, shop. There's a thing going on in my neighborhood or my area that is encouraging you to shop local and small. Now, do I need more stuff in my home? No, but maybe I'll buy a gift certificate. Maybe I'll buy something and give it away, So I say to you, you can change your relationship with clutter even during this time of year. You can ask for fewer things and you can say thank you, but no. You can have a family meeting to say, hey, you know what? All of us have too much. And anything, and this is a thing too, of children, of people of a certain age, and I consider myself still a child, even though I may look like a grandma to some of you, is saying, do you realize that the more stuff you buy me, like the stuff you buy me now is stuff that you will have to deal with when my house needs to be emptied out when I'm dead? Now that seems sober. Nobody wants to think about death. Nobody wants to think about that. But if you think about that kind of bigger arc of the lifestyle, the lifeline of that stuff, why not just disrupt it? Let's have an experience, shall we? Let's have time together, because that's the one thing. I don't know about you guys. I would trade all the stuff in my house in order to have a little bit more time with the people who aren't on this planet anymore. My friends, my relatives that I never got to meet. How much stuff would you willingly give away to have an opportunity to hang with those people that are gone? Well, realize too, and we don't know when it's going to happen, but the people that are hanging out with us now aren't going to be around forever, nor will we. So I'm at that stage of my life where I want to be hanging around with people that I love while they're still here as much as possible. And that has nothing to do with them buying me something at Macy's. Now, think about that and think about how you feel. What do you really want for Christmas besides your 2 front teeth? You know, I want quality time with people I care about. And quality time could be come over to my kitchen and sit at the table and I'll make yourself a cup of tea. Or it could be let's go on a family vacation to Belize and rent out a mansion. I don't know, or anything in between. It isn't about the stuff, the car, the clothes, the cash. It's the people you spent your time with and how you spent your dash. And I know I mangled that, but that always reminds me of my aunt, who I wish was still on the planet right now. But I heard that poem, The Dash, at her funeral, graveside, and it sticks with me. That's why I got up this morning and went on a 3-mile power walk with some of our friends. Because there will be some times when those friends won't be around, where I won't be able to power walk. But I want to do it while I can. So the more we kind of quiet down and disrupt those patterns that really aren't serving us to get us what we want, the more we realize we have the power to change what we don't like. To say thank you, but no thank you. That is a phrase that I hope you learn to use very sincerely and organically and powerfully and confidently this whole season. Thank you, but no thank you. I've had enough stuffing. I do not need any more stuff that you're buying me from Amazon. Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for thinking that I might want that, but no thank you. And notice the pushback you may get, because some people don't know how to do it otherwise, right? So just some things to think about today. Today, tomorrow, who are you grateful for? Yay, I'm grateful for my really fancy bag. You could be. I guess I shouldn't judge you about that, because that really fancy bag means I have money, means somebody cares about me. They spent a lot of money on a fancy bag for me. Or do I look around the table, even if I'm not sitting at that table? Like, I can't wait to check all my text messages that I just got because I want to send heart emojis to all the people I care about, you know? And yeah, of course, thank you for going live on a holiday. I had the time. I wanted to help. I still have time to do my own green beans. But thinking about what's really important kind of allows you to notice the deeper things. And this is why when we talk about clutter, we've got surface level, stored, and sentimental. So think about the stuff that's just very superficial, just on the surface. That stuff really doesn't matter. Even stored clutter is something you've probably bought at a store. Sentimental, these are the gifts you carry with you in this container called your heart, your nervous system, your feelings, your brain that remembers things, that causes you to feel feelings. Right around here, this is where the magic happens. I'm down there sometimes too. Okay? And what you have in here has very little to do with the stuff that's on the outside. But man, can the stuff that we've surrounded ourselves with cause us to think and feel in ways that don't feel good. So I say this, you can change that if you want to. Stephanie was picking up what I was putting down. Why not? You know? So notice what you're grateful for today. And also, if you want to change things this season, you can start that today. And it doesn't have to be big. And nobody knows yet you're changing. When you change your mind and you change your habits, nobody needs to know. How they're going to know. How are they going to know? They're going to know. They may, when you say, I am going to lovingly be giving fewer gifts, but they are going to have more meaning. I'm going to be clear with you that me not giving you physical gifts does not mean I do not love you, but I would love us to do something else that we could show each other how much we love each other. Get together for a piece of pie, take a tap dancing class, go sledding, you know. So think about using this disruption these next 4 days of this month before we get back into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday weekend, then it's Christmas week, then it's New Year's week, and then it's already the new year. So start your new year now, okay? Happy Thanksgiving, Dee, and user 1963 is grateful to have found me. Thank you, and Destination Decluttered too. Yeah, I am very psyched at the quality and quantity of people that I get to that choose to hang out with me through Destination Decluttered. I feel very lucky that I get to hang out with such cool people. And that's why I want to continue spending my time and money and effort and all of the things you spend with the people I like to hang out with. And you guys are people I want to hang out with. Okay? Now, speaking of, it's about 12:56, and I feel like I'm going to wrap this up. I don't need to go till 1 o'clock. I'm not going to get in trouble. Yeah, Christine, thank you for this in this community. But I will share with you with this a couple of things as I kind of start to wind things up, because I want to go send a big old picture of love to the Green Bean community in Massachusetts. I will be doing TikTok lives tomorrow, the next day. They are going to be primarily, honestly, prior to noontime Eastern, starting at the top of the hour. Other than that, I don't know when I'm going to do them. I like to keep things flexible. You know, Melissa says, random question, what are your 3 favorite bands? Gosh, off the top of my head, I would say the Beatles, the Monkees, and the Smiths, Fountains of Wayne. That's enough to get you started. Yeah. If you want to know when my TikTok lives are scheduled for next week, because there are some scheduled, just so you guys know, destinationdecluttered.com is my website, destinationdecluttered.com, and you can sign up to just give me your email address, and in exchange, you get access to the page that has the schedule on it. All right, I keep it under wraps because I don't want trolls showing up. Okay, because I want to protect my peeps. All right. TikTok lives this weekend. Monday and Friday of next week, we have some declutter parties. The coaching calendar has also opened up. So anybody who is not a current client, there's a bunch of C's there, who wants to investigate working with me one-on-one via Zoom coaching, schedule a consultation and we'll make that happen. The first 2 weeks of December are pretty regular. After that, I have some travels and I'm getting some eye surgery, so I don't know how that's going to impact my coaching and being here. It's going to be fine. It's very low key, but since I don't know it, I'm keeping the second half of this month extra flexible. So I highly encourage you to join on the mailing list so that I can keep you in the loop. Okay. Also, people who are already have given me your email address, I did send out an email last night. You might not be checking your email because it's a holiday, but just know it's there. There's all sorts of good information in it. Okay. And I am so blessed that I have you guys to hang out with. I'm blessed that I have a steady stream of comments because I forgot to put on Do Not Disturb on my phone from friends, from family that are connecting up with me during using this wonderful technology we have. So I say to you, why not connect with somebody that you like? Send a text to somebody that you're thinking of them today on Thanksgiving. Create that connection. That is more powerful and feels better than many gifts you could give that you could buy in the mall. The gift of connection, the gift of I was thinking about you kindly and I love you and I just wanted to show you that. And it doesn't mean I have to go buy something at the mall. Okay? Now, speaking of stuff like that there we go. Yeah, here's a great thing. Saw Paul McCartney in Pittsburgh last month. Awesome. Didn't buy a t-shirt to add to my stuff. I have seen McCartney twice, 3 times technically. I never bought any of the merch, but it doesn't mean I didn't have a great time and I have the memories of it. So yay. Christine, you enjoy your day as well. I'll see some of you maybe tomorrow, the next day, TikTok lives, stuff like that. Happy holidays. All right. Bye. Bye. I can never hit the button right away.